Welcome folks, Flip Now here. Today we are going to be talking about the Insta360 One RS. Three, two, one, go. So before we begin, there is no such thing as the perfect camera. I will never say there is such a thing as a perfect camera. There is always a camera for the right moment. And I bring this up because that's the question I get asked all the time. People are like, hey, want to buy a camera? What's the best camera? My first question to them is, what do you want to do with it? Never have I gotten an answer. Well, you know, I want to do this, but I also want to do that. And I don't know, like, what is like best for... When most people are considering buying a camera, they never think past the camera. They think, I got a camera, it's gonna solve all my problems. It's like buying a car. What are you gonna use the car for? What kind of tires are you gonna need for it? What kind of insurance are you gonna need? You need to think past the initial purchase. And I bring this up because today we're gonna be talking about Insta360 One RS and how it is my new EDC camera. EDC means everyday carry, and why this is my everyday carry camera now.
This is my everyday carry. I got a pocket knife. There's a few of them. They're on rotation. Got a small Odin wallet. My keys. I like this weird military clip thing. Everyday keys, home keys, work keys, shop keys, motorcycle keys. I have a few of them. They're on rotation. And I always keep my motorcycle keys separate from my regular keys. My cell phone. Nobody leaves home without a cell phone. Then there's a camera. I never leave home without a camera. I know the iPhone has a great camera, but I always like to carry an actual camera. For the longest time it was a GoPro, and then I added a 360 camera. I never left the house without a GoPro and a 360 camera. And then Insta360 sent me the Insta360 Go 2. It's the size of earbuds. It fits right in your pocket. The camera's absolutely amazing. The footage and the audio are great on this camera. It magnetizes two things. It has a wireless remote control, but it does not do 360. And then I started going back to this for a while. Insta360 now sent me the One RS, and it has a magic trick. It's both an action camera and a 360 camera. So all I have to carry now is this, instead of this.
And now, it's taco time. Typically when I make YouTube videos, I do it like this with the camera in my hand with a GoPro. Come on, we're getting tacos. And when I ride my motorcycle, I like to have a 360 on there. This camera kind of eliminates a lot of needing to carry two things at once, where you just need to carry a little modular camera. The best part about 360 cameras, I can stare at Megan's boobs and she won't know. makes this camera absolutely great isn't just the fact that it's modular. It can go from an action camera to a 360 camera. It's also the brain of the camera. The brain of the camera is dramatically more powerful. As you're filming, it is instantly steadying your film so you don't have to do it in post-production. Also, it's that freaking app. That Insta360 app is one of the best apps you can get. It's the easiest plug and play. It's the only company that I've seen that gives you an application that does dramatically more than just this. It shows you how to make films, it teaches you how to use it, gives you ideas. The app is just phenomenal. I've said enough about that app in the past. And in the world of action cameras, they're the only company that I've seen that makes products specifically for motorcycle riders. They make these cool different mounts where it's like, the one that they just sent me was the one that like it straps onto your backpack and it sticks out the back. They're thinking about cool ways for you to use their products that makes it way more interesting. For somebody who only films by themselves and does most of the filming alone, just being able to get some of these new and interesting and different angles and viewpoints that typically you could only get with a second cameraman, somebody in a separate car, doing some sketchy things that no one wants to do. This 360 camera makes it so much easier to get so many more interesting angles and viewpoints while you're riding your motorcycle that I know that we all kind of visualize in our heads and don't get an opportunity to really do by ourselves. They make specific helmet mounts, they make backpack mounts, they make so many different motorcycle mounts for different ways to mount your motorcycle, between the backpack mount and a handlebar mount and a grip mount and like ways to sling it under. Like they help you stick your camera in places that you would have been terrified to put otherwise. Trust me, it's a lot of fun. So one of the new features of the One RS is loop record. So for those of you out there who want this for insurance purposes, as for safety purposes, you can set it to record in a 30-minute loop. So if anything happens to you while you're riding, your camera's been recording in a 30-minute loop continuously to make sure that it caught what happened. I know that we all worry about this, and it's a fact of life when you ride a motorcycle. It's something that we all think about and worry about. One of the great features about this camera is that it's so simple and just plug and play, hit record and go, and it'll take care of the rest for you. It also has a lot of really great professional features like HDR, 6K widescreen. They have different picture profiles like cinefiles so that it has a flat profile so you could color grade it later to your likeness. Like I said, there's no such thing as a perfect camera. There's not one camera that does everything perfectly. So there's a few downsides to the One RS. The audio quality that comes out of the camera isn't always the absolute best. Between the One X2 and the Go 2, they have phenomenal onboard audio. I don't know why this one is slightly lacking. It's not awful, it's not unusable, it's just not the best. And then there's weird things that it does with the timing. With the action camera, it'll record up to 90 minutes. With the 360 camera, it'll record up to 30 minutes. It will restart, but there's a 4 to 12 second delay, I believe, from like the end of the 30-minute video to the next video. Sometimes it won't start back up. It might be because of the batteries. I'm not sure why it does that, but it does do that. It is just strange. I can't explain it. I've talked to them about it. They're looking into it, and I have told them that I like to go on long motorcycle rides, and I'd really like to do long 360 videos. They're looking into it. They might fix it very soon. Be freaking awesome if they did. And in a middle ground between good and bad is that I can't figure out which one I like better is the fact that GoPros will like segment every video like 8 to 12 minutes depending on the GoPro. I don't know why, they're all absolutely different on that one. Where this one will give you a 30-minute to 90-minute long recording, one solid file. There's times where that's really convenient, and there's times where that's a really huge hindrance. When you're trying to process video and you have a huge file like that, it becomes extremely difficult. It becomes very taxing on whatever you're editing on. And sometimes it's just easier to have shorter files and just do the same thing to all of them as opposed to have one large file and try to get that one file to do that one thing at once. It takes longer to do things like that. It's just the way it is. There's moments for it. Like when you're looking for the files itself, there's one file as opposed to 12. You know, like I said, there's good and bad to everything. There's no such thing as a perfect camera. But if I don't have a plan for what I'm filming and how I'm filming, and I just want to grab a camera to make sure I have a camera on me, I really do love having the One RS on me.
It's everything I need for the moment that I might need it in. I always like having an actual camera on me, no matter what camera it is, besides just my cell phone. This is the one I leave the house with every day.